Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Up Close and Personal with Angela on behalf of Aspiring Authors Magazine. I have an amazing author with us on today, Anastasia Jackson. She's going to be sharing her journey to becoming an author. She's going to be sharing some of her amazing work, and we're going to connect with her today. This is going to be an opportunity to get up close and personal with her. So if you're tuning in, if you drop by, please leave a comment. We're going to have in the comment section her links where you can reach out to her. But please stop by, share with us, and get to know this amazing author. I'm going to bring her up and allow her to share a little about herself. But let me share a little bit about who I am because I know I just jumped right in this morning. I get excited about authors. So you guys know I love promoting, I love networking, I love collaborating. That's just who I am. This is my passion. This is what wakes me up in the morning. And sometimes I don't sleep. But nevertheless, I am Angela Thomas Smith. I am the founder of AALAC, which is the African American Author Literacy Awareness Campaign, where I believe in bringing awareness to Brown authors all over this world. I am also the founder and CEO of Aspiring Authors Magazine, another platform where we're trying to promote authors. Not only are we promoting authors, we're touching on topics that's affecting our Brown community: suicide, domestic violence, education, you name it, we're trying to touch on it. So if you're not following Aspiring Authors Magazine page, please go over, follow our page, see what we're doing, see how we are trying to bring change in our communities, not just here in America, but all over the world if it's affecting our Brown community. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up the author because that's what this month is all about. Even though it's Suicide Awareness Month, I dedicate my time to advocating for different things and promoting authors. So I'm going to bring Anastasia Jackson on and I'm going to give her an opportunity to share just who she is in her journey in becoming an author. Good afternoon and good morning where you are, and good afternoon to those that are in my time zone. So, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing good this morning. Running a few errands, but I'm good. How are you?
Well, I am super excited to have you on this morning because I know you are an amazing author. You have some amazing work out, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to share with those that are following and those that will tune in later. Um, just a little bit about who you are and how you began this journey as an author, and how has this journey been for you?
Okay. Well, as stated, I am Anastasia Jackson. I'm 27. I have two children. I work a 9 to 5 as well, besides writing books. So last year was when I first wrote like a book, even though I've been writing since grade school. So I literally finished one book. And once I finished one book, I knew I could continue to write more books. And it was like those characters were talking to me. And then I started getting more and more characters talking to me. It was weird and fun at the same time. So when depending on the topic at the moment. So say me and you can be having a conversation right now and you can say one thing and it'll spark something for me to write probably later on. So most of the times I do carry a notebook and a pen. If I don't, I could take notes from my phone, but I just prefer the old fashioned way with the handwriting, even though my handwriting is not that great, but I still like to write with pen and paper. So just in case I do hear something or think about something, I won't forget and I can write it down for later. So that's pretty much it with the whole writing. I currently just finished book 13. So I'm excited about that. It's a little different style from what I've been doing. So I'm really excited when that actually comes out.
So, when did you know that this was what you wanted to do?
When 2018, I was on maternity leave with my second son. And with my particular job, we were off probably 13 weeks. So I'm sitting in the house, nothing to do. And I'm like, okay, I know it's something that I can do. I'm very creative. And that's how I started writing. And then I finally finished, which was 2019.
Wow. So, when you were younger, I know with a lot of us, with me, personally, I dabbled and dabbled when I was younger, but it was never something that I thought this is what I would be doing, and this how I would be impacting people's life. I never saw me doing this, and you know, as I look back, the things that I did in my childhood, I can remember. You know, when you little, you play school,
Yeah.
and you always, you know, some of us just want to be the student. We want to sit at the desk. That's all we want to do. But some of us always want to be the teacher. I was always raising my hand to be the teacher,
Yep.
and now I can see why I was always doing that. But back then, people just thought I was being bossy. Like I just wanted to be, but now I get it. So when you were younger, can you remember things that really stood out to you that can you say kind of created that author in you, that writer in you?
Actually, yes. Thinking back to when I was younger, I used to write plays. So it was me and a group of my friends, and I would write a play about us. Like, hey, we're gonna do this, this, and this. I used to write short stories. Actually, I still have some of that stuff. It's crazy that you asked. I literally have a tote full of old things that I've written. I won't throw them away because for some reason I must have known I was going to actually eventually write seriously. Yeah.
Like I wonder. That's why I ask all authors that come on here, and I know it's just I ask them in different ways, but I ask that question because it's just something that just plagues in my mind. So I know you said you was out on maternity leave, and you just knew that there was something that you could be doing creatively because you are a creative. Um, I want to hear about some of these books because 13 books. I'm on number 15, and but all mine are inspirational. And
Okay.
I've looked over your page, and you got all kind of books. You got children books. You got all kind of books. Can you share with us your
Okay.
different books?
Okay. So I started originally with this book called Dear Diary. So that's about a woman. She's going through different variety of things. But I went through an actual publishing company with that particular book. So that book, when it got posted on social media and everything, it posted separately because once I finished that book and I'm like, wow, that's it. That's all I had to do. I just had to write and just keep writing pretty much. So then I moved on to this book. It's called Hurt. So it's like a short story, and it's talking about once again a woman, how she goes through different things in life, what hurt her, parents, family, boyfriend, fiance, different things like that. So of course, when you go through hurt, you have to eventually heal. So heal is the book following that, and it goes through different steps that you can take to heal yourself, yoga, meditation, different things like that. So that's pretty much on the motivational side, but it's very sad. I don't tell people it's sad in the beginning. I prefer you to read it first and then tell me how you felt afterwards, because I feel like hurt touches people in different kind of ways. And then of course heal is going to touch you in a different kind of way, because it may not be anything that's in hurt that hurt you, but something is going on inside of you that you probably need to heal, and you didn't know until you actually sat down and read something that kind of touched on that subject. So that's for those two books. There's a series that I have. It's called Secrets. So you have Secrets 2, and then the final secret. Pretty much that's about a family. They adopted some young lady, and long I don't really want to tell you the book, but she's in the family is into like drugs big time, and they had this mentality of what happens in this house stay in this house. So it's none of that. Whatever I tell you that goes on here, that's it, that's all. And the young lady wanted to get away, and every time she got away, she always ended up with somebody from that house. It never failed. So, like the first book, it talks about, her growing up, how they adopted her, how they abused her, and things like that. And then you move on, she leaves and she meets this man. Come to find out, the man is part of that family. So she ends up trying to get rid of that man and then gets on to the next book and same thing, runs into another man. So for some reason her and men just don't get along. That's it, that's all. Or she wasn't doing too much research because it was like the man was so lovey dovey. She wasn't thinking like, oh wow, that last name sounded familiar. Different things like that. But that series is really good too. I don't want to tell you the whole book. I prefer you to read it, to be honest. Then I have The Same Guy, a Different Man, a confused love story. Now this book right here was like the one of the funnest books that I wrote because we all know a man that's literally the same, but he got a different face. So all the men that pop up and you know they look the same, but somebody else, but with a totally different face. So that's exactly who this William character is. So I learned his character from pretty much the men that I know. So it's like, wow, okay. So there's a part two to that book as well. But part two didn't come out till probably 6 months later. And the way that William gets his karma back from the way he treats women, it's amazing. And it's like, wow. People don't think like, karma will get you eventually. And William didn't think karma was going to get him. But it did in part two. So definitely a great read. Something I would definitely recommend. So I said that was my favorite. A Taste of Karma, that book. I was sitting down talking to my editor about this particular book, and I'm like, hey, I want this book done in a month. And I don't know, I just feel this book for some reason. And he's telling me, like, hey, no, I don't think it's gonna work out. I don't think you should do it. I don't It's too fast. So I literally wrote that book in 1 month. A Taste of Karma is about a group of friends. They pretty much grew up together, and you think you know someone as you get older. So, yes, I knew you as a child. That's one particular person that you are. But as we grow older, we start to change. And these particular friends didn't understand that until stuff started happening slowly but surely. Um, what else about that book? But yeah, 1 month, group of friends. I don't want to tell you the ending because it didn't end well. Let me just say that all of the friends, it just didn't end well. We got Ava's Cabin Fever. Now, Ava's Cabin Fever, that was a little different. So, how I came up with that, I was actually before the pandemic happened, I was planning my trip with my children. So we was gonna go away to a cabin, and I'm at work, and I'm just going around. I'm paying for the things that I need to pay for, and I'm like, wow, cabin, and something kept sparking in my mind, like maybe I should write while I'm on vacation. And I'm like, nah, I'm on vacation. I shouldn't write. And I'm sitting at work still going through all the things that I need for the trip. And I'm like, wait a minute. Ava's Cabin Fever. It's something about Ava that I need to talk about. So with Ava, she's a gullible young lady. Had her heart broken, and her mom is one of those moms where she's very controlling. She wants to control every aspect of her life. So she used to host these retreats, single retreats. So she's like, Ava, I need you to come. I need you to go. Long story short, Ava goes and she runs into this man. Amazing man. Amazing. The description in the book describes him very well. So she runs into him and not knowing he was a setup. He was a setup from the beginning from her mother. That's the crazy part. So that's the twist in the whole book. But like I said, you have to read it in order for you to actually understand what I'm saying. Okay, so I've got Ava's Cabin. I think I said them all.
I see you have a variety of books,
Ebooks, yeah.
and they touch on a lot of different topics.
Yes.
Um, I see Your books can touch on abuse, relationships. Um, oh my God, just oh my God, it's just amazing. Like you need to come and be a part of the event October 1st. We're gonna be doing a domestic violence event,
Okay.
and I'm trying to provide a platform where people can share their message because you know there's message in each one of your books that somebody needs to hear wherever they are. You
Yeah.
know, I'm hearing relationships. I'm hearing um maybe some pride issues.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of different things as you were speaking and sharing about your books. And people think they see the covers and they think because it's urban literature, it's urban literature that they're not going to pick it up because they're too sophisticated for it or whatever it may be. But I've come across a lot of urban literature here lately, urban fiction, and it has been amazing. It doesn't have the language that everybody expect to
Yeah.
be in it, or that's what they have labeled it to be. But they have to check them out. But I tell you, you are amazing, and you have some amazing work in the message. Um, I just want to hear just a little bit about, you know, what do you want people to know about Anastasia and why Anastasia chose to write and to share her journey through these books to empower people? Because at the end of the day, God is giving you a message, whether you know that or not. He's giving you a message, and He's giving you all these books to reach all these people because there are people connected to each one of these books. 13.
Yes.
Oh my God. Just imagine all those thousands and millions of people that's attached to each one of those books individually.
Right.
Oh my God. You're amazing.
Thank you.
You have to share with the listeners a little bit more about Anastasia. What are your dreams and hopes as an author and as a writer? Um, why do you want to do this so bad? Why is this a passion for you?
Okay. So pretty much my dreams changed. I didn't know for sure that, like I said, I was going to be a writer until that particular year. And now that I know that I can write with an editor, let me clarify that. So now that I know that I can write and I can actually finish something, I want to open a writing studio. I want to be able to help others write when they feel like they can't write. So just like times that I feel like I can't write, I give myself like a break, a gap. Like I just said, I just finished a book. Am I writing something right now? No. Do I have things that I can write about? Yes. But I try not to repeat any stories that I've already written. I try to give myself time to actually understand what I just wrote, make sure it makes sense, and then I go from there. Do I have the titles already ready? Yes, because when I follow a lot of people on social media that create like book covers and things like that, and I'll see a cover that I already have a title to. I just need the cover. I've already probably have it saved in my notes somewhere. Like, hey, this book goes here. I just need the actual cover to match it. Um, why do I want to write? I want to help. Just like you just stated, I'm actually helping people, and I really wasn't paying too much attention to notice that am actually helping, not unless I'm actually giving you the description of the book. Like, hey, I am trying to help somebody. Um, my newest book, the 12th book that I wrote, is called Love Letters to Him. It's a novella. Now, this particular book, it's a love story with a twist because I just can't write a full love story yet. I feel like my target audience only understands a certain way right now, so I'm going that route. So this particular book, she's literally writing love letters to her husband that disappeared out of the random. But not telling you the book, the husband pretty much leaves her without telling her. and he has this, I don't want to say like addiction, but he's not really truly comfortable with her. And he wasn't able to tell her that until it was too late, until he was on his deathbed. So when I think about everything that I've written, I am literally helping someone somewhere. But like you said, if they don't pick up the book because they're judging it by maybe the cover or something like that, they won't never know.
Amen. Amen. That's why it's important um, for you guys to have opportunities like this, so you guys can share your your books and share about who you are, so people can connect with you and connect with your story. So I thank God for this platform to allow me the opportunity to do just that. And I thank you for coming on and sharing today. So I know you said you just finished a project. You mentioned your 12th book, but you didn't mention the 13th book. Is
The
there a 13th
book,
book? Right?
there is a 13th book, and I did actually miss another book. It's called Word is Bond. That's about loyalty. Um, Same thing, description with the friends. And one of the main characters, her dad gets killed, and they're trying to figure out who killed the dad. Come to find out, your friends. I heard once again, your friends for real. The 13th book. I haven't posted anything about it. All I said that it was complete. I'm not going to say anything about this particular book until maybe in a week or so. I try not to, if I don't post about it, I try not to say anything yet because anything could happen. It may not be ready to come out yet. And then I talked about it, different things like that. So, like my children's book, Mom, I'm Being Bullied. Now, that book touched me just a tad bit because there was an incident when my brother was here and he was being bullied and he wouldn't tell me, and to this day I really still think about that. So that was the first trigger for that particular book, and I still never wrote it. I still never felt like the need to write it yet. So then last year there was an incident with my son. Some kids was bothering him at school and he wouldn't tell me. I mean, I asked every day, "Hey babe, how's your day going?" Different things like that. And this particular day he's in the bathroom and he's taking a shower and I hear him yell. Like, I'm like, "What are you yelling for?" He like, "My back, something wrong with my back." "What do you mean something's wrong with your back?" So I go and I'm checking and I'm looking at his back. He has this like cut on the back of his back. And now I'm like, "So what happened? I mean, where did that come from?" And he's like, "Yeah, these two kids, they pushed me into X, Y, and Z at the school, and I didn't say anything." That instantly, like literally, it felt like tears was gonna fall from my eyes because I asked you, "Were you okay?" So I was at work, and that's how I literally wrote that particular book because those little things right there, it's a sign like, "Hey, I'm being bullied and I'm crying out for help." And I guess he felt like I wasn't gonna help. I'm not quite sure what he felt at that moment, or maybe he was scared. I think he was probably scared. The scared at the fact that what my response was going to be to the kids, or the response of how I would have reacted when I've gotten to the school. Because of course I did react because that's my child, and the fact that you all let this happen, that's a problem for me, and nobody said anything. So the one of the teachers' response was, "Well, sometimes these kids just be saying stuff. That's the problem. The kids are saying stuff because they see the things that the teachers don't see all the time." So for
Mm-hmm.
the fact for him to go home with this big old cut on his back and nobody knew that he quote unquote failed was an issue for me. So that's how I came up with the title Mom, I Am Being Bullied, because it's not the fact that he was being bullied, but he was being bothered, and that's a form of bullying. Um yeah, that one right there, it just it was a lot. And I felt it and I knew it was gonna impact a lot of people because we all have been probably bullied in some form or fashion. And the kids nowadays, they can't take bullying like we took it. We probably, we ready to fight someone. We're ready. These kids, they shut down. They get in this quiet mode. And the worst thing is they're gonna commit suicide. And we don't talk about suicide enough. But if we don't talk about the main thing, which is bullying or disciplining our kids correctly, we wouldn't have these bullying situations that lead to possible suicide.
I tell you, I thank you for that book because bullying is one of the things that I talk about a lot. That's something that we touch on in the magazine as well as suicide. Actually, this month is Suicide Awareness Month. I actually did a piece on Sunday. I dedicated my show. I do a radio show on Sundays from 8 to 10, and I dedicated my show to suicide awareness. The first and third Sunday of this month. So I have individuals that's coming on to share about suicide because it is near and dear to my heart. I lost three family members in 2017 in the month of May to suicide. And one of the young ladies was only 14 years old. And she committed suicide the day before Mother's Day.
Wow.
So I definitely understand. And I thank you for writing that book and being obedient because every one of your books, just from listening to you describe them and talk about them, they have messages in them. I thank you for being obedient because you were obedient and you wrote those books. People are going to be blessed because I don't think he give us these messages to put in these books. He don't give us these books with these messages in it for nothing. It's to touch lives, and I do believe that you're going to touch lives. So I definitely thank you for coming on today. I want you to share with the listeners how they can get in contact with you. If you would share how they can follow you on social media, if you have a website, however they can link up with you. I'm going to pull you up so they can see you by yourself. I'm going to leave. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, guys. You all can follow me on Facebook, Anastasia, no, author Anastasia Jackson. You can follow me on Instagram and Anna Writes 2, the number 2. I have a website you can follow me on as well. It's authoranastasia.com. And yeah, that's pretty much all the handles. Send me a message. You can comment on any of my posts. I respond quickly. Purchase a book. That's always good too. Yeah. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate the opportunity.
So I definitely want to thank you, and I always extend myself to all of the authors that come on my platform. So if there's anything that I can do to assist you on your journey, please feel free to reach out to ALAC or Aspiring Authors Magazine. Um, this is what I love to do. We have to stay relevant, and there's definitely a message, and we have to carry that message, and we have to reach people because people are hurting, and people need to be set free.
Yes.
And I think he's given us these platforms and he's given us these books to do just that in this time.
Yeah.
This time. So I thank you. I thank you for coming on. I thank you for being a part of the platform. And again, if I can assist you, please feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. This was amazing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. So you have been tuned in to Up Close and Personal with Angela. Of course, I am Angela Thomas Smith, your host on behalf of Aspiring Authors Magazine, and we have author Anastasia Jackson on today. So please, 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 I tell you, she has amazing books with some amazing stories. You have to go over and check her out. Please go over, support her. I tell you, it's nothing like being an author and having a message and trying to get it out so that you can bless people. So please go over, support her, follow her on Facebook. You can follow her on her website, which is authoranastasia.com. She have her books listed there. You can go over and check her out. I tell you, it is amazing to be able to support my fellow authors and to share their platforms with those that support my platform and give you an opportunity to connect, because not all the time I'm able to reach everybody, and it is a great opportunity when we can share with each other, because her message may be needed on my platform and my message may be needed on her platform. So I thank God for allowing us to connect. So I want to thank you guys that tuned in today to follow Up Close and Personal with Angela on behalf of Aspiring Authors Magazine. I tell you, I'm always honored to be a part of you guys' life and to be a part of your journey as an author and as an avid reader. So please, if you're not following Aspiring Authors Magazine, go over and follow the magazine. If you're not following our YouTube page, please go over and follow our YouTube. We have some amazing authors that have been featured on the YouTube page, and we have some amazing authors that are going to be coming the months of September and November that are going to be featured on the YouTube. So please go over and subscribe. If you are an avid reader, I tell you, it's an opportunity to connect with some amazing authors. It gives you an opportunity to be personable with them. You get an opportunity to not just read their books, but you can connect with them. You can get an opportunity to find out really who they are and why they write. I thank God for this platform because it gives me an opportunity to really connect with the authors. And I want to thank author Anastasia Jackson for coming on and being a part of Up Close and Personal with Angela on today. You guys have a great afternoon. If you can, please come back and join me in the 1 o'clock hour. I will have I'm sorry, guys. I pulled my headset out. You Something is going on with my headset, so you didn't hear anything that I said. But I was saying that at the 1 o'clock hour, we're gonna have authors, playwright Betty Picnic. She's gonna be on sharing her journey to becoming an author and becoming a playwright. We're gonna see her current projects, her past project, and what she has coming up. So stay tuned. Join me in the 1 o'clock hour. I have author, playwright Betty Picnic on. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for following me. Have a blessed day.